Welcome to Thor's Hammer, a roundtable discussion on the Minnesota Vikings by Viking fans from around the country. Each week we gather and discuss and hammer out everything about the Minnesota Vikings, what we saw the previous week, what we'll see in store for the upcoming matchup, and a few surprises on the way. Join us each week as we set sail on a new adventure. It's here, it's Thor's Hammer.
Hello, and welcome to Thor's Hammer. I'm your host, Viking Bob, and this year we're doing something a little bit different. This year I have some new crew members who are going to help us have some fun and get some different points of view. Let me introduce them to you. Starting off with our own New Jersey native, Mr. Jason Wisniewski. Jason, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, Bob. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. Jason, since this is your first time on the show with us, why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I host a podcast called Viking Spin on YouTube. You can also check out Viking Spin on Facebook and Twitter, too. We do some fan blogs and Vikings team news and things like that.
Very impressive. You sound like a very busy man. So this is your first time doing Roundtable, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
You're going to enjoy this and have some fun. Because the next guy I'm going to introduce, he's a riot. He has such a great imagination that sometimes I don't know who he is. Welcome, Mr. Berserker88. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, doing good, Bob.
Good. Now, some of you may remember we had Berserker on as a guest many years ago, and I had such a fun time with the guy on the show that I had to have him come on as one of the crew members. I'm trying to get him for a couple of years now. He's finally freed up some time that he can join us. And welcome to the show, buddy. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm Berserker88 on the website there at Viking Horn and a couple other sites as well. And I do a little show recapping the Viking games for the last 4 or 5 years. Kind of faded on the tail end of last year due to life getting in the way, but I plan on bringing it back again this year. And it should be on YouTube. I'll just look up R2A Vikings and you should be able to find it. It's pretty simple, pretty easy to look at. And other than that, kind of took early retirement and driving trucks for a little bit for some money.
Early retirement, that sounds like a dream. All right, so I'm jealous. All right, so we're going to jump in, but before we do, I'd like to remember our past, a little trip from me down memory lane with everyone who's helped me with the show over the past 5 years. Obviously, I had to start off with Mike Olson and Tom Moore, who gave me the original chance to start the show and gave me full creativity to do whatever I wanted, and this is the best I could do. I'm sorry. But over the years, we've had some wonderful guys on the show with me. Georgia Vike, love the guy like a brother. He's the only guy who was there every year except until now. Again, life got busy with him. Mr. Jeff Nichols, OBM, even Rob Bass helped record a couple of shows with us. Then we had Skull Scott, Papa Scott, and Drew Fancy. So it's been super fun with those guys. I want to thank them for all their hard work, and hopefully they enjoy themselves being on the show. So from there, we're going to jump right in, and we're going to talk about this preseason game that we just had. We beat Seattle. Yay, preseason. So what do you guys think about the preseason games? Berserker, you go first, buddy.
Preseason games, kind of Oh, boy, they waste my time, really. You get to watch football for about 4 or 5 series if you're lucky, and then you get to watch everybody struggle to make the team. So preseason games are kind of like this podcast, just breaking in for the season.
All righty. Jason, you want to follow up on that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, preseason games, you're basically seeing vanilla plays from the starters. So you take it with a grain of salt. You're basically watching to see, to make sure they don't get too many pre-snap penalties. But you're mostly looking at second, third, and fourth team guys and see if they can show you something that'll make you think they can make the roster.
Yeah, I mean, every game is a progression. Like the first game, the starters may get 1 or 2 series. The second game, they might get 3 or 4. Game 3 is the big one for the starters, and game 4, most of them don't play, and that's all the players, the backups are vying for spots to be on the team and make the practice squad. If they don't, the rest get cut, which is, that's a way of life. So let's take a good example of like quarterback. We all know Cousins is our starter. Now we have a great battle between Mannion and Slaughter. What do you guys see between the two of them, and who's winning this battle? Jason, we'll let you go first.
Well, Mannion is playing against second string guys, so you've got that going for him. I know some people want to see Kyle Slaughter get a chance to play second string guys, myself included. With that said, I'm not as close to the situation as Zimmer, Stefanski, and Kubiak are, so I'll trust them on that.
Yeah, sure we are. I watched the game from my house. Kidding me? I know just as much as Zimmer and those guys. I'm the Monday morning quarterback every day of the week. Right, Berserker?
That's right.
What are you thinking? What do you see from the quarterbacks?
Backup quarterback's always my favorite quarterback. Isn't that right? That's Minnesota Vikings fan base.
That's right.
And if it's third string, that's even better, right? So I like Slaughter.
So why do you like Slaughter? Well, why do you think he's third string?
Well,
you don't think he's going to beat Mannion?
This is the worst reason to like Slaughter. He reminds me of Favre, and I don't like Favre at all. But, just because he wore green for so long is why I don't like Favre. But Slaughter's got the gunslinger attitude, the wing it attitude, which will not go well with Zimmer and his this is how you do things. So that's why he's not going to be in the backup, I would assume. It's going to take some injuries to see Slaughter on the field, and I don't want any injuries, so just keep Cousins out there.
Oh, I agree with your mentality, what you said about Slaughter being a version of Favre. I, on the other hand, absolutely love Favre. But I love that gunslinger mentality. Yeah, they're going to throw an interception here and there untimely, which sucks, but they're also going to win games for you. And, but I agree with you that Zimmer, who is a defensive genius, has done the team no favors on offense. He's depleted, his quarterbacks, his kickers, everyone who scores points for him. He doesn't do them any favors. So I would like to see what Stefanski and Kubiak say. If they say it's Slaughter, it better be Slaughter. That's my thoughts. All right, so moving on to next position would be running back. What are you guys seeing at running back? I mean, we all know Cook's starting. Apparently Madison's at 2 if he didn't blow out his knee. I didn't see how the MRI came back. I assumed it was negative. And then from there we have a couple guys vying for the third spot. What are you guys seeing there? Who's Jason? You go first.
Well, I definitely like what I see from Boone. I thought he was really explosive. I know Zimmer remarked that he also impressed him on special teams, which bodes well for his roster chances. I thought he looked good in pass protection too. So he's proving that, he can be a complete back. I think he definitely helped himself.
I agree with that. Sirica, your thoughts, buddy?
Yeah, I agree with that too. I really like Boone. And are we covering halfback separately, or are they part of the running back?
I will call the whole running back crew. You're going to say, was it Bisingame?
Well, I'm just wondering if we're going to keep a backup halfback as well, or what we're doing there. I have no idea. But I think Ham's going to be the halfback, and I'd like to just keep Boone and use him for the other halfback if we have to.
Yeah, you could. You do that.
I haven't really seen enough of the other guy to really form an opinion.
Yeah. I don't dislike Abdullah. I just think, he's a little not holding the ball very well. He's had like 6 or 7 concussions, which is why the Lions cut him to begin with. Plus, he's probably going to cost more. So if someone's going to go, I think it's going to be Abdullah, unfortunately, because he's not bad. I do like him. But it's a numbers game now. If it's not a numbers game, your team sucks. So that's how I look at it. Okay, the big question now, let's move on to wide receivers. Treadwell. Zerka, your thoughts on him?
Well, he should just be gone, but he won't be because of the money and the draft pick. But I'm still just, he should be gone. I'm done with him. He's had his time here. He needs to start somewhere new where he can just have a fresh start. Yep.
You mean a compensation pick? If we cut him?
I saw that talked about, but I have no idea.
Well, I believe, and Jason, correct me if I'm wrong, that if we keep him in the year, because he's a first-round pick, we'll get a compensatory pick. It's probably going to be a 6th or a 7th at best, because he's done nothing. But if we trade him and get a 6th or a 7th now, what's the difference? That's my opinion. Jason, is that correct?
Yeah, no, you are correct. It just depends on the amount of money he would sign for as a free agent, which would determine what kind of compensatory pick you would get. But you wouldn't get that compensatory pick until the following season.
Yeah, so we traded him now, and we got to pick the next draft. Either way, we're going to pick the next draft. I would trade him. I've been saying for a while now the Giants are probably the most obvious choice because their receiving core has gone down badly. They have 4 guys who are already in the out for the year, something like that. So I take a warm 5-pack for him. A warm 5-pack of red, white, and blue, or natty ice, or whatever.
Red, white, and blue.
How about Big Red? Chewing gum.
It could be a couple of days old. A couple of sticks missing. I wouldn't care. All right, now the big one is our O-line. I think they're looking pretty good in pass protection. Run blocking hasn't been done, not great, but obviously it cooks up and out there. But I don't know. I'm still a little undecided how they're looking, but they're looking better than last year. I'll say that much. You guys agree or disagree? Yeah, Jason.
I'm encouraged by the scheme. I know they're not running all the plays right now, but they are running probably a basic foundation of what they're going to do. And you see the lateral movement. You see the play designs with the play action. That alone is putting less pressure on the offensive line in terms of pass blocking. Cousins is able to move the pocket. There's no pass rusher around them. And that kind of misdirection is leading to open receivers.
Yeah, so Cousins is staying upright. He's staying clean. How do we fix the run game now, though?
Well, I think you're seeing some progress there, too. And part of it is just sticking with the run You might get 2 yards here, 1 yard there, but then you break 5, then you break 15, and then you get the linebackers and safeties biting on the play action, and that's where you can make some big plays.
Oh, the old Barry Sanders rule of run, -1, -4, 75.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Berserker, what are you seeing? You encouraged or not?
Still on the fence on the line. I don't think they're not gelled yet, obviously, because they haven't had the time. But they do have moments where they look decent, and then they have moments, well, like the first series, 3rd and 2, we call the timeout, and then Madison gets hit in the backfield after we come back from the timeout. We have to go for it on 4th. So everybody knew we were running. Everybody knew it. And our line got blown up. And then later on in that drive, Cousins was immediately under pressure on 3rd down. I mean, he had no pass protection at all because they knew it was a passing situation. So that made me concerned a little bit. And, I tend to overblow line concerns because it's so important to me. But, yeah, I'm on the fence still.
All right, fair enough. I'm mildly encouraged because I like what I'm seeing. The draft the past couple of years, they've actually taken some players that actually going to start and help instead of finding the old junkyard and what's out there for retreads. So I'm encouraged with that aspect of it. Next year we have a good chance of starting 4 or 5 guys that have 4 or 5 years or less in the league, which might be a record for this team.
Well, one more point I want to make on the line. It was either the first drive or the second drive. We didn't get it on 3rd and short, but we did get it on 4th and short.
Yeah, Yep. And
so last year and the year before that, we would have got nothing and nothing.
Right.
When Cousins fumbled that snap, how many of you people went to butt sweat?
Yeah.
Go ahead and edit that out.
I think it went to grab a drink. It's the Irish in me. People listening around the country, if you can't tell that I'm Irish in Boston, get your ears checked. So we say this week we just stay on offense, and next week we'll tackle the defense. So that leaves us to the tight ends. What are you guys seeing in there that's encouraging you? Berserker, what are your thoughts on tight ends right now? I mean the players in the field, not the girls.
Yeah, exactly. I still like Rudy. I know he doesn't get a lot of yards after catch if he gets hit, but he still makes catches and still gets done what needs to get done. Morgan's injured still, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And and after that, is it Conklin or was it? I don't know.
You get Conklin and you got Herb Smith Jr.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's what I think.
Great comment.
Yeah, they didn't really do much to stand out that I remember because it's preseason and tend to drink a lot.
Well, that's what we do, right? That's why the show works.
Yeah.
Hey, Jason, what are you seeing at tight end?
I think Berserker must have been asleep or drunk and passed out because I saw Tyler Conklin's tight end screen in the first game, busted loose for, 40 or 50 yards, and then Herb Smith Jr. got his first touchdown last week.
Yeah. Well, again, Berserker may have had a relapse of his alter ego, so...
Well, yeah, but what quarter and against who? I mean, if we're going to go, Sloter can't start because he can't play, so blah, blah, blah.
I can't wait for one of these shows when Zerka rips through and pushes Berserker out of the way and takes over. That's going to be a fun show. But the meantime, we just want to get this going and see if we can work together. And sounds like we got a pretty good continuity going already, which is definitely promising, and I like that. Thank you, guys. What else you guys want to talk about?
I will admit that Jason's probably correct there. I don't recall that big play by Conklin. I do recall the other guy getting a touchdown, but yeah. So he's probably correct.
I drink a lot during the games. And before the games. And after the games.
After the games, while we, yeah.
And even days they're not even playing.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
Yeah. So, I forget things too as well, but it's what makes us who we are. It's fun. It's tough being Viking fans, but, eventually our day's going to come. So why not this year, right?
I'm all in.
I'm all in too, because good.
Yeah, I think this year is going to be it. I mean, it's got to be it. It just has to be, doesn't it?
My opinion, and it's probably not the most popular opinion, is if this year it isn't it, trade everybody, blow it up, start over. Only because all our stars are only getting older. I mean, you keep someone like Danielle Hunter, who's only, 23, 24 years old now. You get the other ones who are approaching 30. Trade those guys for what you can get. I mean, Cleveland did it, and we haven't seen the results of what they're doing yet, but I'm actually intrigued by what Cleveland Browns are going to do this year. I really am. I don't know about you guys.
The Cleveland Browns, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
They had so many draft picks, so much money to spend on free agents. I think they are going to be a team to watch this year and next year and maybe the next couple of years. I'm intrigued by it, so that's why I'm basing my professional opinion that if this team doesn't win this year, blow it up, start over.
Coach and all, question mark?
What's that?
Coach and all, question mark?
I think they're both signed for one more year, both Zimmer and Spielman, right?
Yeah, they're all through 2020. So I think that's the window this year and next.
Yeah, well, after this year, if it's not going to work, there's no reason why you can't just fire both of them. And it's, the money's the money. It is what it is, and you bring in the whole new crew and start over. Teams do that all the time. I'm not encouraging it. I hope this year they make a huge rush for the championship, and it works out for us.
Well, let me ask this. What is the minimum they need to do to return for 2020, in your opinion?
NFC Championship game, my opinion.
To make it to it?
Yeah, they have to make the NFC Championship game. If they don't, they had 2 years ago with Case Keenum. They spent a small fortune on a upgraded quarterback, who I still believe is an upgrade. I'm not questioning that. But if we can't progress as a team, what good is it?
So if they make it to the divisional, you say fire everybody.
Depends on how they make it there, right?
I guess. If they win the division like 9-7, or somehow beat somebody and whatever, and make it to the 4 in the NFC, If they go 14-2 and then choke, well, you still had a great team that choked. So maybe go one more year. But 9-7, 10-6, and then you get beat the first game in the playoffs. it's probably time to make some changes. Don't get me wrong, I love this team. I always want to see them do good, but again, the players are getting older all the time. If you can make some trades and trade a stud that's pushing 30 and get a second rounder, third rounder that might turn into, something really great down the line there, I call it restocking the pond. That's what I've been calling it for years, and some people agree with me, and some people think I'm an idiot. So it's either or. The good teams stay in the hunt all the years, but you got to keep restocking. That's my opinion. You guys can agree or disagree with me. It's fine with me. That's what the show is all about. So feel free to jump in.
What's your minimum reserve?
Well, I'd like to see a Super Bowl appearance this year. I don't really know if that goes back to firing everybody or not, but it's a tough call because I'm really going to have a hard time saying goodbye to Zimmer because he's a defensive guy. I'm a defensive guy. I really like defense. And, but, I've heard scuttlebutt from nobody but fans that Kubiak's been brought in to step in for Zimmer when Zimmer's gone. So is the writing on the wall, and is that going to affect the players' play, who they're going to play for? Is that just going to be a clusterfuck? Well, who's in charge? I hate that shit.
Yeah. I love Zimmer's defense mentality, but I got to tell you, the defense has gone downhill last year, and the season before they were phenomenal until the playoffs rolled around. What if I don't want to say he's lost the team, but what if other teams have adapted to his style and find a way to beat him and he can't adjust in game?
Well, yeah, that's kind of, he can adjust in game, but I'm just looking at it through my TV screen. Anybody's got any better definition or insight? Go ahead and speak up.
No, I'm just saying I've seen him outcoach second half of games lately. Teams have found a way to beat him, whereas the year before, no one could touch him. The defense was, fantastic. Last year, other teams found a way to beat him.
Well, you got to wonder how many rule changes affected that as well. Handsy and can't touch and let him catch it and hope he doesn't, make a touchdown. Hell, I don't know. It's just you can't play defense anymore. That's a whole other rag.
Yeah, it's only going to get worse. It's the NFL. They don't want defense. They can't touch the quarterback. They want games to be like basketball scores.
Yep.
But it is what it is. We're all here for the same reason. We got nothing better to do on Sundays but watch football, eat good food, hang around with some friends, and of course, I don't know about you guys, but me, drink lots of beer. But so what are you guys thinking? We got this game Saturday against the Cardinals. What are we looking for?
If we go a full half with our first, we should be up 21-0, 28-7 maybe. If not, I'll be disappointed. My understanding is the Cardinals have issues this year. I could be wrong with that because I don't watch other teams. I barely watch Vikings preseasons. I'm not going to waste my time with other teams preseason.
Cardinals, from what I heard, quite possibly could be the worst team in the league this year. But you never know because every year, the team that was good last year sucks. The team that sucked last year all of a sudden is pretty good. So who knows? We'll figure it out. We'll watch like everybody else. But I just want, obviously, most important thing is no injuries, improvement on all aspects of offense and defense. My biggest thing right now that intrigues me the most, and this is going to sound silly because I hate them, is special teams. I couldn't care less about special teams, but this year I'm intrigued by it. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting old.
Well, we definitely have a debacle at special teams, and hopefully we can solve it this year.
All right, let's talk about special teams. We'll make a prediction on the game against the Cardinals, and then we'll call it a night. Give our listeners some time for their ears to stop bleeding.
All right, sounds good.
All All right, the battle's coming down between Bailey and Vedvik, and then Wiley and Vedvik. Who's getting booted? No pun intended.
Well, Vedvik is going to kick this Saturday night. So to me, that should tell us a lot about it. Although Zimmer said he doesn't have a timeline on this, so he might actually let this go through the fourth preseason game. But I'm still interested to see how Vedvik does as a pure kicker.
All right, Zach, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, if we can get Vedvik to do it, let's get him to do it. If he's good enough, like you said, got to see what he does this week. I like it. I like the all-in-one guy, but if he gets injured, that's kind of concerning. So kick it and get off the field.
So you guys think there's any chance he's going to be kicker and punter?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so either because, like Zerka just said, if he gets injured, you got to sign 2 guys, and then the season's over pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
I personally think that Zimmer already has his mind made up. He isn't going to tell anybody. But for example, let's say he's going to cut Bailey and keep Vedvik. He's not going to cut Bailey tomorrow so the team like the Bears can sign him. He's going to wait until the final cut, and hopefully he's hoping like a team like the Bears will pick someone else up. My opinion.
To trade Bailey to the Jets.
Yeah, they did lose Myers. Yeah, he's probably working on a trade too. He could do that.
Well, their other kicker that they had in camp quit after the first preseason game. He retired. So they need one.
Wow. Alrighty. So maybe they're working on something like that. That would be nice. Even get back 6th. Take that. For Bailey. Or even, whatever. All right, so let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up and talk about the game on Saturday. What do you guys think's going to win? Final score, blah, blah, blah. Not really important. It's preseason. Yawn. Keep our fans, from hanging themselves. But let's, we'll let Berserker go first because he brought it up a few minutes ago. I think he said he wanted to see like 21-7 or something like that, 28-7.
21-0 at the half, unless it's 28-7, I'll accept that too. We need a 21-point lead at the half if it's full-time starters against full-time starters.
All righty. Jason, your thoughts?
I definitely want to see the Vikings starters score more points than the Cardinals starters while they're in there. And I'd like to see a little bit more pressure on the quarterback from our D-line. That's what I'm looking for.
Well, that's going to be tough with Kyler Murray. He's like the fastest guy in the league, so I think they'll probably play containment on him. That's what I would do. Let him run to you for a sec. You can't chase him because you're not going to catch him. But I think the Vikings are going to have starters going to play a half. I think that's about it. They might get one series in the third. Get them out of the field. Keep them healthy. Game 4, they don't play at all. You find all your backups, and then we build a team that hopefully wins the Super Bowl. So we're all overdue. All right, so pretty much our show, guys. You guys want to have any closing thoughts? Anyone?
I'm ready to get to the regular season, which was a fast-forward button.
Well, I would talk a lot faster then if it was. All right, so I'd like to thank Jason and Berserker88 to joining me on this Thor's Hammer podcast. I'm honored to have them both here with me. They're very knowledgeable. I've known them both for a while. I think it's going to be a fun season. We will build a continuity, and we'll definitely be more fluid and have a lot more fun. Thank you, everyone, for listening. See you next week. Viking Bob out.